And welcome to my final project for game scripting, which includes making a tower defense game in the Galaxy StarCraft 2 editor. So what I have open right now is the basic layout and terrain of my map, which, as you can see, is a maze point. It has points 1 and 2 where the enemy mobs spawn, and they just follow this path to region number 1, and point 3 is where the player spawns. Region 1 is where the two AI opponents are trying to get, and once they hit that, the player starts losing lives. And once the player has 0 lives, then they lose. And so now I'm going to show you the scripts that I made for this, which is the main part of this project. So I have all sorts of variables and timers and whatnot. So I'm just going to briefly go through all of that. So this is the initial map initialization. So you get this dialog which sets up a button which you push in order to actually start the game. So it sets the player race, which is just player race, and they get a flying probe that flies really fast in order to build the different towers. There's only one tower the player can build, which is a type of photon cannon, and it does 20 damage. And it can be placed anywhere along these raised areas. I don't know what else to call them. Yeah, so in here, this set of variables is the enemy AI, like the waves. These are the waves. So we have wave 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 5 waves that the player has to fight through. It starts out with these weakling characters. They're all Zerglings, different types of Zerglings. They get faster and they have more health as they go up. So the weakling Zerglings are the weakest type of mob, and then goes up to medium. So like wave 2, you get weakling and medium Zerglings. Same thing with wave number 3. And then wave 4, you just have medium ones. And the last wave, you have badass guys which have double the HP, and it's like double or triple speed, I forget exactly how I said it, than the weaklings. Okay, and then so here's the timers that I created. So for each wave comes out at 60 seconds is one of the project outlines we had to do. 2 AI enemies every minute, a new wave starts, but then the last wave starts at like the last 30 seconds of the game. So I'll show you that later, which is why I have this spawn last wave uh, trigger up there. Anyways, so we go down and then we just have all the things set for moving to where the player spawns and the player visibility. And we have the different spawn points. So again, the actual player, the human player, spawns at point 3 right there, and then the 2 AIs are at point 1 and 2. And then I also created scripts for a leaderboard. So it's an active leaderboard. It has the player name, how many kills they have, and how many lives they have left, which was a pretty cool script. At least I think so. And so it's just updating the leaderboard, and that's the initialization of the map. And then it goes into like there's a button that I wrote a script for where the player chooses a race, and it's just play a race. So you click it and then you gain control of the little builder probe that can fly around the map, because I made a custom probe unit. Then we had the spawn waves. Here's the timer. So the timer starts. Once it expires, then the enemy AI mobs, the waves, they spawn and then go through here. And then let's see what else. And then it just counts, like it keeps iterations of the different waves. That's what these are on the left side. It's just to keep count of your lives, the waves, and the waves get added to each wave. And then when you lose lives, it gets subtracted. Basic stuff, and also plays silly sounds and whatnot. And then the last wave, um, one of the project parameters was to have a last wave spawn at the last 30 seconds of the game. So that's what the 240 seconds of game time is, because we had to do like it was 5 minutes each minute a wave spawns, and the last 30 seconds the final wave spawns. So that's what this is. And then I wasn't quite sure how to write a script to once the last wave is all killed, then the player wins. So I just had him spawn, because it's the way I designed the map. It's real easy for the player to win. So after the last spawn, after the last wave spawns, it waits 160 seconds, because that's kind of how long it takes for the boss enemies to get to the end. So if they get all killed though by that time, then the player wins and has victory for them. And then here's a trigger for when a unit dies. It's just they get killed, and then whichever player kills the unit gets +1 added to their leaderboard skill or kills leaderboard scores. And that's what this is. So there's only one player, so it gets added to them once they kill everything. And then here's a trigger for when a wave unit reaches the end of the map into region 1 right there. So that's their goal. Then a life is just subtracted from the player. And then sounds played, and then I have a trigger to remove the unit, so they just disappear. So pretty standard. And then if the player runs out of lives, then the player loses. That's it. That is. And I also have a functionality in the game to allow the player to sell their tower for half of the money that's costs. And then what else? I think, and that's pretty much it for the triggers. All this other stuff are just variables that go into all that different stuff. So I'll show you the actual game now. Okay, so this is what loads up once you start the map. It says choose your race, so you click on that, it starts. So you have this little guy who starts here. Here's where you're trying to protect. So you can just build towers. Pretty standard stuff. And I also set the probe speed, I think, to 20, so he moves really fast. Let's see. That'll do it for wave 1. So as you can see up here, wave begins. It started counting down from 60, because you get a minute. Well, I guess it counted down from 1, because the actual timer in game is set up in minutes and seconds, unlike in the actual editor, which is just seconds. And so we have the label for our leaderboard. So we have the player, local player, that's me. So, and kills rack up. So they're getting killed, and you receive minerals, +1 minerals for the weaklings, and then it increases with the tougher enemies. You get more and more. And then also at the end of each wave, you get some minerals to help you out with building. So I'm gonna build some more here.
We require more minerals.
And then also has your lives left right here. So hopefully I don't lose any lives, but it might be more interesting to show that. But it does subtract. I've tested it, and the sound plays, and they disappear. Everything works as it should. So I'm going to try not to lose all of my lives. So we'll see. And now, the next wave is coming soon in 3 seconds. And this time I'll show this part of the map. I showed the top left before. So these are the slightly tougher units, the medium ones. So they give you +3 minerals whenever you kill them. Go back up here. In retrospect, I probably would have added more units or made the map smaller, or made the enemy units faster and with more health, or made the towers cost more just to make it a little more difficult. If I was gonna actually, I wanted to release this, but this is just to get kind of a foundation and mess around with the Galaxy script. Basically is what this is for, is using the actual scripting program for StarCraft 2. And I actually had a lot of fun with it. It was really easy to do. It was super easy to set up the terrain. So that was a relief. It took a while to do the scripts though. Okay, so next wave, even more enemies. They're the tougher ones. As you can see, it's super exciting. Those guys got passed. So do those guys. So I'm gonna have to set up more defense over here. Where should I put it? I guess I'll put it there. And right here. Sounds good, right? Go back over here. Since I have like a billion minerals. I'm glad I made the probe super fast. So I wasn't sure how to make it so you can just like automatically build. I'm sure there's a property somewhere where you can make it so you can build from anywhere. The probe doesn't have to move anywhere. Okay. So now we have a ton of those guys. And they're getting through everywhere. I have more minerals than I know what to do with. Okay, that should be good, and I'm gonna build more of a defense down here so those guys stop getting through. And then build up here.
We require more minerals.
And it's taking me a long time to kill all these units, so, you know, more waves keep spawning. Of course. Oh, looks like I am gonna lose some lives. So that's fun. I'll get to show you that. Can't even beat my own game. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'll show you this. So they disappear. Now I'm down to 9 lives. I think this time none of them will go through. Oh, and I made a custom photon cannon, that's why they're acting the way they are. And why their placement is a square instead of the like octagon shape or circle that normally is. So that's another thing I did. I think this is the last wave. Can't remember. So we shall see. Yep, okay. That was the last wave. I just didn't kill the last guy in time. So, but that's basically it. That's the level. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed building it. Bye.